Have you ever heard that saying, ignorance is bliss? I bet you have.
Oh, yeah.
It kind of makes you think of someone you know.
Yeah.
Like someone who just like buries their head in the sand,
Right. Yeah.
avoids all the bad stuff. But what if we sort of took that idea and flipped it on its head a little?
Okay.
Like instead of it being a negative, what if it was actually like a positive thing?
Interesting.
That's what we're going to dive into today.
That was good.
So we've been going through these notes called Embracing the Bliss, the philosophy of letting go.
Yeah.
Yeah. That bliss part, right? That's that flip, right?
Yeah.
So we're looking at these notes, and our deep dive today is going to be all about exploring this idea, that maybe there's some real power, a genuine kind of joy in not needing to have every single answer.
I like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so just a heads up for you listening.
Sure.
These notes, they're dated April 9th, 2025, and they seem to be like a specific perspective, like almost an inner voice. And they're attributed to someone called Addy. And they're categorized as like main type, other, and then activity type notes.
Interesting.
So it's not a huge amount to go on, but
Yeah.
but there's some really, really interesting stuff in here, I think.
Okay, I'm intrigued.
So our mission today is to kind of unpack how letting go of that pressure to know everything can actually lead to more joy, more awe and wonder in our lives.
I'm ready. Let's do it.
Okay, so right off the bat, the notes kind of point to this thing that I think we all experience these days, that tendency to just endlessly scroll online. Like we're constantly trying to find information and, look for advice or even just a little bit of validation.
Oh, for sure. I mean, that's me all the time. It's like
Right.
this constant need to know everything.
Yeah.
And it can be so overwhelming.
Exactly. And so you can spend hours and hours, consuming all this data, but then you're left with this feeling like you're still not quite satisfied.
You know what I mean? Well, totally. It's like you're filling your head with all this stuff, but you're not actually absorbing it.
Right.
Like it's not really sinking in or making a difference.
It's like we're filling our heads, but then somehow losing touch with something deeper.
That's a good way to put it.
Something within ourselves.
It's like we're constantly chasing after knowledge.
Yeah.
But we're not actually learning anything.
Right.
It's just this empty pursuit. And honestly, I think it's kind of tied to the way we view expertise and certainty,
Oh, interesting.
Like in our society, there's this pressure to be the go-to person for everything.
To have all the answers.
Yeah, exactly. But it can be so exhausting. And what happens when you don't have the answer, right?
Oh, right. It can be so stressful.
It is. It's like this fear of being exposed. Like, oh, I don't know everything.
And then you start to question everything you do know.
Exactly. It's a vicious cycle. So, what these notes are suggesting is that what if we let go of that a little?
Okay.
Like, what if we embraced being a student again?
Okay.
Instead of always having to be the performer.
Like not always having to be like the expert, like the...
Exactly. And I think, one really interesting way to explore this is through this idea of intentional silliness.
Intentional silliness, huh?
Yes.
That sounds kind of fun.
It is. And the notes actually use a really great example. Karaoke.
Okay. Yeah, karaoke, right.
Yeah.
You're not usually going there to try to get like a record deal.
Right, exactly. It's not about being perfect. It's about letting go, being in the moment, and just having fun.
Belting out a tune, even if you sound a little rough around the edges.
Exactly. And what's so cool about karaoke is that it's a shared experience.
Yeah.
Everyone's in it together. Everyone's kind of, they're all embracing the imperfections, both their own and everyone else's.
It's like a judgment-free zone.
Yeah. And the notes even make this funny little comparison. Like, think about Squidward and Spongebob.
Okay.
Remember when he laughs at himself?
Okay, yeah.
It's like that moment when you realize you don't have to take yourself so seriously.
Yeah, and you can just let go and enjoy the moment.
Exactly. And I think that kind of ties into, the next point.
Okay.
Like, have you ever thought about the joy of being surprised?
Ooh, being surprised.
Yeah, like, when someone tells you a story or shows you something and you're like, wow, I had no idea.
Oh, yeah. It's like a little spark.
It is. It's like this spark of wonder that ignites within you. And, that feeling, that sense of awe, I think it gets kind of lost when we feel like we need to know everything already.
That's interesting. So you're saying that pressure to know everything actually can get in the way of experiencing true awe and wonder.
Exactly. It's like if you already think you know it all, then you're not really open to learning new
We're
things.
not really open to those surprises.
Right. You're not really curious.
Yeah.
The notes actually call this the gift of not knowing.
Okay. The gift of not knowing. I like
And that's what keeps us, keeps that sense of wonder and that drive to learn, to actually keep learning.
Okay.
It keeps it alive within us.
I'm just thinking here, this pressure to know. It's almost like it tricks you into thinking that awe is a bad thing.
Oh, that's so interesting.
Like, oh, I didn't know that. I must be dumb.
Yeah, yeah. Instead of being like, wow, that's amazing, I'm learning something new.
It's like, oh, I should have known that.
Right. And
Yeah.
so instead of it being this beautiful indicator that you're learning,
Yeah.
it turns into this like shameful thing.
Yeah, it turns into this negative thing.
Right, right. Oh, that's a good point.
And, while we're on this, like, the notes then go on to talk about this idea of how we approach life itself,
Okay, yeah. Like it's so easy to get focused on the destination, on achieving a certain goal,
Right, like checking things off the list.
Yes. But then the journey itself can become like this chore, It's just this thing you have to get through to get to that end goal.
Yeah.
And you might even miss out on some really amazing stuff along the way.
Oh, totally. So, like, what are we supposed to do instead?
Well, these notes suggest that we try to experience each moment with open hands and an open heart.
Okay, open hands and an open heart.
Yeah. It's about being present in the moment, not just rushing towards the finish line.
Okay, I can get behind that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's about recognizing that every single moment,
Yeah.
not just the final achievement, has value.
Yeah.
It has meaning.
And it makes me think of that analogy they use about, like, forgetting the map during a hike.
Oh, yeah. Tell me about that.
Like, you're out there and you're supposed to be following this trail,
Yeah.
but you've forgotten the map. And so you just start wandering. And maybe you end up discovering this amazing grove of trees that smells like, gum trees.
Oh, wow.
It's like those unexpected moments of beauty. They happen because you weren't so rigidly focused on sticking to the plan.
That's such a great analogy.
Yeah.
It's like those spontaneous moments. They're often the ones that we remember the most.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah.
And it's so easy to miss them if we're just like laser focused on that end goal.
Absolutely. And speaking of letting go of control, I think we need to talk about the importance of play.
Play.
Yes.
You mean like playing games and stuff?
Yeah, games, but also just like laughing, exploring, even resting,
Okay.
connecting with others, all of those things.
They're not just like kids stuff.
No, not at all. It's something that's important for everyone.
Okay.
We often think of play as this like frivolous activity.
Yeah, like you got to get your work done first and then you can play.
Right. Like it's a reward.
Yeah.
But these notes, they make this really important point. Play is not a reward. It's essential.
It's essential.
It's like, they say it's the soul's way of breathing.
Okay, the soul's way of breathing. I like that. That's really good.
Yeah.
And they give all these great examples. Like, imagine juggling some fruit in your kitchen while you're cooking.
Oh, right.
Or like just dancing in the rain.
Just letting loose.
Yeah. It doesn't have to be this like big planned out thing.
It's those small moments that can bring so much joy.
And you don't need a reason.
Exactly. It's just about embracing that silliness, that lightness.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, so we've talked about letting go of the pressure to know everything, and we've talked about embracing silliness and play. But, for some people, it might feel like letting go of all this pressure would actually lead to, like, a disconnect.
Oh, yeah. I can see that.
Like, if you're not striving for anything, if you're not pushing yourself, then what's the point?
Right. But actually, the notes argue the opposite. They suggest that letting go can actually lead to a deeper connection with yourself.
With yourself. Okay.
Yeah. And I think that makes a lot of sense when you think about it.
Okay.
Like when you let go of the need for external validation, the pressure to conform to everyone else's expectations.
You start to look inward.
Yeah. You start to connect with your own values, your own creativity, your own needs.
It's like you're tuning out the noise and tuning into yourself.
Exactly. It's about living authentically from the inside out, as they say.
Living from the inside out. I like that.
Yeah.
And this isn't just for, like, certain personality types.
No, not at
Okay.
all. The notes specifically mention that this is for everyone.
Okay.
The planners, the thinkers, the nurturers, anyone who's ever felt that burden of needing to have all the answers.
Okay.
And, I think that's a really important point to emphasize because the pressure to know, it can affect anyone. It doesn't matter what your personality is like. It can be so overwhelming.
That can be a real trap.
And so the benefits of letting go, like reduced anxiety, increased joy,
Yeah.
they're available to everyone too.
Okay, so we're getting towards the end of these notes now.
Okay.
And there's this really lovely section called the Addy reflection.
Oh, tell me about that.
And it talks about this idea of like thriving on spontaneity and finding beauty in imperfection.
Interesting.
And it's like, it really personalizes this whole philosophy because we're actually hearing from Addy.
Right, like it's their personal take on this whole thing.
Exactly.
And how do they approach this?
So Addy talks about, enjoying experiences, mess and all, as they say.
Oh, mess and all. I like that.
Like really embracing the fact that life is messy. And that's okay.
Yeah, like the messiness is part of what makes it beautiful.
Exactly.
And what kind of examples do they give?
Oh, they talk about like laughing after messing up a dance move
Okay.
and like doing a hot wing contest, not because they think they're going to win,
Yeah.
but just for the experience.
That's awesome. So it's like, it's not about the outcome.
No.
It's about the experience itself.
It's about showing up,
Yeah.
being present.
And embracing those imperfect moments.
Right. And it kind of goes back to that whole thing about, the journey being more important than the destination.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's like those imperfections, those are the things that make the journey interesting.
Yeah, and they make it unique.
Right. Exactly. It's like your mess is your own.
Your mess is your own. Okay, so to wrap things up,
Okay.
these notes, they present this really beautiful reframing of ignorance.
Okay.
Like, it's not about being stupid.
No, not at all.
Right. It's about freedom.
It's about freedom from that constant pressure to know everything.
Yes. It's about giving yourself permission to be a beginner,
Right.
to laugh at the chaos.
To be open to surprises.
Exactly. And, what's really interesting is that the notes suggest that this kind of ignorance, this willingness to not know,
Yeah.
it actually fosters a sense of trust. Trust.
Okay.
Trust in yourself, trust in the process, trust in life itself.
Yeah.
And that trust, that can lead to a really profound sense of bliss.
Yeah.
Like when you let go of the need to control everything, you can actually relax and enjoy the ride a little more.
Yeah.
So as we finish up here, I think there's one last point from the notes that's really worth pondering. They say, let's keep walking the trail, even if we don't have the whole map.
Okay.
Maybe the not knowing is exactly what we need to find something truly worth knowing. It's like an invitation to embrace the unknown,
Yeah.
to see the journey as valuable in itself.
And to be open to all the unexpected discoveries that are waiting for us.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So what will you discover when you let go of the need to know?
That's the question.
That's the adventure.
That's the adventure.